Okay, day one of Chloe's KL restoration. I don't know if you want to call it a restoration. Let's just try and get the damn thing running. I got my battery charger on there. When I went to look at the car, looked over the car pretty well. I was pretty happy with the condition that the car was in. Yes, it's a $900 car. It's in crappy condition, just as a mode of transportation from point A to point B for my niece. I'm pretty sure it'll serve that purpose well. The engine is healthy in that, and I think that's what the most important thing. The transmission, still a little bit in question. So we go to take a test drive and the car stalls. Now when I got there, the car was running. The car was running in the driveway, spilling coolant. Spilling so much coolant, as a matter of fact, that they moved the car from one spot to the other spot and then put the other car on top of that spot to try and hide it. So I know it's dripping coolant and I didn't say anything. I don't care about that. I can fix external coolant leaks, no problem. Not worried about it. The deception was unneeded, okay, because I was the right buyer for the car. I wanted a mechanic special type car for cheap. As you guys know, I'm not afraid to take on a project, even if it was a blown head gasket. It's a V6, so head gaskets. I'm not afraid of that. That's fine. So we go to take a test drive, car stalls and won't restart. I have no idea why. My guess is maybe the battery was so low that he didn't have it running long enough in order to recharge the battery. When the car came on the tow truck and the battery was at 9.1 volts, which obviously is below the threshold of 10.5 volts to even kick on that starter. So I know the whole no start thing was at least in part due to a low battery charge. So I'm charging up the battery and then we're going to go from there. I'm basically Chloe's uncle in a roundabout way, not legally. I've watched her grow up ever since she was, God, I want to say 12 years old. To see everything that girl has gone through in her life, just kind of, she's been dealt a really, really sour hand as a teenager, really sour. Not that this will make up for it, but this will make her life a little bit better. She'll have a better shot at trying to have a normal life. This is going to be Chloe's story, not mine. And I'm sure you're all kind of anxious to meet Chloe, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, got it running again. Yep, it was just a battery charge. And now with it running, the battery's getting 14.1 volts, so the generator's working, alternator's working, it's recharging it. You can see where it's starting to bubble up, and as this warms up and it pressurizes, it's going to start gushing out of there. I imagine as soon as I go anywhere and use the power steering, it's going to start overflowing out of there. No leaks though, that's kind of cool. Sounds like it's kind of got a little bit of a low idle, maybe a misfire. We got a problem here with this this clutch pedal. It wanted to go all the way. Look at all that. Way too much free play. Same thing with the accelerator pedal for some reason. That's a lot of free play there. Brake's okay. It's up there above the max, so we're good there. But that sucker was bone dry. So if there is a brake fluid leak somewhere, and it does kind of look like it was a little bit wet back here, so I'm thinking the master. The reservoir, I mean, you can see all the rust down there. The reservoir was leaking something god awful, so pretty sure that's a new reservoir, and that's why they replaced the reservoir. Master's looking okay. Slave, I don't know about the slave yet. It's really hard to see that slave down there. This thing's, look at that. Can we say new shifter bushings? Give you a shot of this and let you listen. Hopefully the audio will come through. Sounds good to me. It's got a slightly low idle, but I can try and do an idle speed adjust, see if I can fix that. No check engine light though. Man, I think just about all the bulbs are burnt out on there. I have no idea how to turn the radio on. Source, tuner. Oh God, that's horrible. Oh, it's got a USB thing. That's cool. Well, I think Chloe will be pretty happy with that. She can just plug her favorite music in right via USB. Yeah, I can feel it kind of hiccuping now. It feels like a misfire. Yeah, you know, obviously it could use some TLC. And they just did this so that the all this crap wouldn't get in your dangle down in your eyes. So I'm definitely gonna have to pull some new visors at a junkyard for her. And I'll probably just end up ripping out the headliner completely. At least all the stuff that's obviously, you know, just bad and in the way. And this thing also broke off. And if you're not familiar, if you guys don't have a sunroof and you're not familiar with this part is, it's just a little recessed portion that you can stick your fingers in. Basically that acts like this. It's like a little handle so that you can move this whole thing backwards. Every single clip here got snapped off. I have no idea how that would happen. It's like somebody grabbed it and yanked. Oh, it's the dog. See, all this I think is dog damage. All these scrapes and scars and the dog just trying to claw and get out or something. And then maybe the dog got his claws in here and just ripped this sucker down. Because there's also claw marks back there too. Obvious, to me it's obvious dog damage. So is that kind of looks like a dog claw. If you're familiar with how dog claws are shaped. So I believe this is all dog damage and scratch and scrape all this stuff. It must have been like a at least a Labrador size. That'd be my guess. If not a Mastiff or something, maybe a pit bull, who knows. And they were nice enough to leave the remote in. That's pretty neat. The water temperature looks like it's holding okay. It's not overheating. As long as there's enough coolant in there. A lot of this hiccup might actually be because of air in the system. So once I fix the cooling issues, maybe a new radiator, maybe a new overflow, stuff like that, we'll see. I do not want to do a timing belt and water pump on this sucker. Oh my God, no. And I know Andy, he wants me to help him do his. That's fine, but this is a different animal. I'm just trying to get this sucker on the road for my niece. But if it needs a new water pump and timing belt, I will do that for my niece. The oscillating vents are working just fine. It does have AC. It does blow cold, but I'm sure it's losing refrigerant, as he said. You know, I take his word on that. That's going to have to be addressed. Of course, dash is cracked. It's not cracked over here yet, but it is cracked over there. And that kind of suggests that someone tried to take up the dash. It does have factory fog light switch, but the fog lights are missing in the front. And that kind of goes along with my theory that this might have been in a front end collision. A minor one. Enough to pop the hood up, but not enough to do front frame damage. Yeah, I'm definitely getting some hiccups. Loping low idle. Okay, so that's where we're at. I'm just gonna let this sucker idle for a while and take it from there, one step at a time. Well, it's in. Let the work begin.